Second Ezra chapter 9 in verse 5. It says, "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs." I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. Start off with 144,000, which should be the ruling governing body in the kingdom of heaven, which the 144,000 will consist of all men. You have a lot of the 1/3 here in America that will be saved. That will be the large multitude of believers that will include men, women, and children. Right? You have 2/3 of our own people here in America that will be destroyed. Of you tribes. And you also have the rebels that will be scattered abroad, that will be destroyed as well. You also have the elect that will be scattered abroad, that will be saved as well. Of you Israelites, of you tribes, who the world ignorantly and willingly calls black, Hispanic, Native American, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, Haitian, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Cubans, right? You all are the Israelites, contrary to what the world wants to believe, or what they choose to believe. The Lord is waking up his people in these latter days, the elect. This thing is here, man. I'm doing today's lesson is from the same website I always go to, Anytime Headlines. From the article, it says Open AI's biometric iris. Your iris is your eye. Scanning, it's a part of your eye. Called the Orb, launches in 6 U.S. cities for digital identity. This thing is moving, man. But you still got some camps talking about some, the MOTB ain't gonna happen, or they're really talking about it. This thing is so obvious, it's so plain what the MOTB is at this point, right? And when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, with these camps, you either part of the elected or you're not. Because the scriptures say, that's right, 39 and 24, it says, "As his ways are plain to the holy, so are they stumbling blocks to the wicked." You see, so if you're a part of the elect, you're going to understand this prophecy. You're going to know what it really is, the MOTB. You're going to know, the preludes to it, how Esau is building up to it, why these things are coming out. You're going to do videos on it. You're going to warn the flock, the sheep. Right? And these other camps, they're not doing that, man. They may speak on other things, but a lot of these other camps, they focused on staying here in Babylon. Right? And I believe my last video was about the EU, rolling out the digital wallet. Right? Everything is going towards the MOTB, man. They could bring out this MOTB in a matter of the next couple of months, man. To see it. They already been doing trials on it. So it's going to happen. I feel like, speaking as a man, next couple of months into this year or next year. It's going to happen in our lifetime. That's why I brought out, in 2 Ezra 9, the end is manifest, man. The Lord is making things come to pass. You can't sit here and act like it ain't what it is. I believe some men in these other camps, they understand what it is, but they are ashamed to talk about it, or it ain't too proper to admit that they was wrong. And it was paid off. So it's all these different combination of things, but that means that you don't fear the Lord. You're going to take Esau's bag and push his wickedness, his doctrine. You're not saying that at all. Right? The scriptures say, there's a scripture in Jeremiah. I forgot exactly where it was at. But, let me see. I'm using my other phone to find it. Right? Let me see. I believe it's in Jeremiah. Let me see. Slovakia. So it's Jeremiah 48:10. Because the scriptures tell you, if you ain't trying to preach this truth correctly in the right way, the Lord said, hey, you gonna be cursed. This is Jeremiah 48:10. It says, cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. So what does that mean? You afraid of, you gonna get blood in this truth, not literally, but you gonna have, people that come against you, right? You gonna get persecuted for this truth, right? If you preaching, smooth things, you prophesying deceits, you want everybody to accept this. You gonna preach a world-friendly doctrine. You ain't gonna preach, the MOTB, and that's what these camps are doing. So you hold back your sword from blood. You afraid to get your hands dirty. You afraid to have pushback, right? This truth is not for everybody. The Lord set up righteous men, righteous leaders to preach His 100% truth, and those are the elders of Boston Great Millstone. I can 100% say that for sure, 144%. Because they the only ones that stand firm. And they always have. They ain't never switched up the doctrine. They ain't never changed for nobody. They always stand firm for Yahweh Shemel Shah, and I believe that these men are, they elect, And it's not idolizing them. It's not putting them on a pedestal. It's their work speak for itself. I mean, if you can't see that's what this is, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, man. And this AI shit is taking over, man. It tells you in, let me see. It tells you in Revelations. Let me see, I believe it's Revelations 13. Where it talks about this devil, doing certain miracles, and he got power to do that. The Lord gave him that technology. So this is, Revelation 13 and verse 14. So I'm going to just read the rest of it. It says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. And what does that mean? It's not a literal image that you got to draw or, worship, because some camps, they'll say that image is his ways, his philosophies. They want you to bow down to, basically his image is, like I said, his ways, his philosophies, what he stands for, what this man pushes, right? This man wants you to represent him. He wants you to worship him. He wants you to go along with what he set up, what he pushes, right? Which it says, with the image of the beast, which had a wound by the sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That's ultimately what's going to happen, man. If you don't take the MOTB, which is the C-hip, that's what it is, the C-hip. And ain't nothing else. But you have a lot of preludes, a lot of test trials, before of what's going to happen, right? It says that he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man buy or sell, save that he had the mark or the name of the beast, the number of his name. You see, and like I said, they not doing these things for no damn reason, man. I was at the store earlier, today, and just running some business or whatever. I went inside the gas station, yada yada. Went up to the little register. Now there was people in there, but they had this little machine where you could put your items that you're gonna purchase. You put it on the little machine, it weighs it and scans it. And then all you gotta do is put your card in or put cash in the machine. And there's no point in the cashier. There's no purpose in them. That's what happened earlier. So that's where everything is going. Cashless. Everything's going to be taken over by robots. This man thinks he's the most high. Right? That's why he's using this AI. That's why he's taking your, he's scanning your biometrics, getting all your vitals and all that. He wants to know everything about you. The Lord knows everything about you. That's how you think this man going to put no C-hip in you? Shit. Y'all jakes is sorely mistaken. It's the C-hip. That's what it is. And it's going to come to pass. Right? It's just a matter of time. But I just want to do a quick video on this, man. Hey, things are happening, man. Stay prayed up, Jake. Pray fast. I'm talking to myself first and foremost. Hey, stand firm in this faith. Call Allah, Yahweh Shah, man. You know, I'm going to close out. You know, I want to say Abad Babal Shalom.